some, try all. Both joy and terror of good and bad that makes and unfolds air, now take upon me in the name of time to use my wings. Impute it not a crime to me or my swift passage that I slide o'er 16 years and leave the growth untried of that wide gap, since it is in my power to o'erthrow law and in one self-born hour to plant and o'erwhelm custom. Let me pass the same I am ere ancientest order was or what is now received. I witnessed to the times that brought them in, so shall I do to the freshest things now reigning and make stale the glistering of this present, as my tale now seems to it. Your patience disallowing, I turn my glass and give my scene such growing as you had slept between. Leontes leaving the effects of his fond jealousy so grieving that he shuts up himself. Imagine me, gentle spectators, that I now may be in fair Bohemia, and remember well I mentioned a son of the king's, which Florizel I now name to you, and with speed so paced to speak of Perdita, grown in grace equal with wondering. Whatever ensues which follows after is the argument of time. Of this allow, if ever thou hast spent time worse ere now, yet that time herself thus say she wishes earnestly, you never may.
I pray thee, good Camillo, be no more importunate as a sickness denying thee anything, a death to grant us.
It is 16 years since I saw my country. Though I have for the most part been erred abroad, I desire to lay my bones there. Besides, the penitent king, my master, hath sent for me, to whose feeling sorrow I might be some allay, or I owing to think so, which is another spur to my departure.
As thou love me, Camillo, wipe not out the rest of thy services by leaving me now. The need I have of thee thy own goodness hath made me. Better not to have had thee than thus to want thee. Of that fatal country, Sicilia, pray thee, speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with the remembrance of the penitent. As thou, cousin and reconciled king, my brother, whose loss of his most precious queen and children are even now to be a fresh lament. Say to me, when sawest thou the Prince Florixer, my son?
Sir, it is 3 days since I saw the prince. What his happier affairs may be are to me unknown. But I have missingly noted he is of late much retired from court, and less frequent to his princely exercises than formerly he hath appeared.
I have considered so much, Camillo, and with some care so far that I have eyes under my service, which look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence that he is seldom from the house of a most homely shepherd. And men, they say, that from very nothing and beyond the imagination of his neighbors, is grown into an unspeakable state.
I have heard, sir, of such a man who hath a daughter of most rare note. The report of her is extended more than can thought to begin from such a cottage.
That's likewise part of my intelligence, for I feel the angle that plugs our son faithful. Thou shalt accompany us to the place where we will not appear in what we are. Have some question with the shepherd. Prithee, be my present partner to this business, and lay aside the thoughts of Cecilia.
I willingly obey your command.
My best, Camillo, we must disguise ourselves.
When daffodils began to peer with hay the dark sea over the dale, why then comes in the sweet of the year, for the red blood reigns in the winter's vale. The white sheep bleaching on the hedge, with hay the sweet birds, oh how they sing, doth set my pugging to the nedge, for Cortavale is a dish for a king. The lark, the tear, a lyre chants, with hay the thrush and the jay, are summer songs for me and my aunts, while we lie tumbling in the hay. I have served Prince Florizel, and in my time wore 3 pile, but now I am out of service. But shall I go mourn for that, my dear? The pale moon shine by night, and when I wander here and there, I then do most go right. If tinkers may have leave to live and bear the south in budget, then my account I well may give, and in the stocks of vouch it.
Yeah.
My traffic is sheets. When the kite builds, look to lesser linen. My father named me Autolycus, who, being as I am, littered under Mercury, was likewise a snapper-up of unconsidered trifles. With dye and drab, I purchased this comparison, and my revenue is the silly cheat. Gallows and knockout, too powerful on the highway. Beating and hanging are terrors to me. For the life to come, I sleep out the thought of it. A prize, a prize.
Let me see. With 11 weathered tods, every tod yields pounded odd shilling. 1,500 shorn. What comes the wool to?
The springe holds, the cock's mine.
I cannot do it without counters. Let me see. What am I to buy for our sheep shearing feast? 3 pound of sugar, 5 pound of currants, rice. What will the sister of mine do with rice? But my father hath made her mistress of the feast, and she lays it on. Must have saffron to color warden pies. Mace. Dates? None. That's out of my notes. Nutmegs? 7. A race or 2 of ginger, but that I may beg. 4 pound of prunes and as many of raisins of the sun.
Oh, that ever I was born!
In the name of me!
Oh, help me! Help me! Pluck but off these rags, and then death! Death!
Alas, poor soul, thou hast need more rags to lay on thee, rather than have these off.
Oh, sir, the loathsomeness of them offend me more than the stripes I have received, which are mighty ones in millions.
Alas, poor man.
I am robbed, sir, and beaten. My money in a pail taken from me, and these detestable things put upon me.
Oh, let me thy hand. Oh, thee, go. Let me thy hand.
Oh, good sir. Oh, tenderly. Oh,
Alas, poor soul.
oh, good sir. Softly, good sir. I fear, sir, my shoulder blade is out.
Oh, how now? Can't stand.
Softly, dear sir. Good sir, softly. You have done me a charitable office.
Dost lack any money? I have some money for thee.
Offer me no money, I pray you. I have a kinsman not past 3/4 of a mile thence, unto whom I was going. I shall there have money or anything I want. Offer me no money, I pray you. That kills my heart.
What manner of fellow was he that hath robbed you?
Fellow, sir, that I have known to go about with troll my dames. I knew he was a servant of the prince. I cannot tell, good sir, for which of his virtues it was, but he was certainly whipped out of the court.
Vices, you would say. There are no virtues whipped out of the court. They cherish to keep it that. It does but no more but abide.
Vices, I would say, sir. I know this man well. He hath been since an ape-bearer, then a process server, a bailiff. Then he married a tinker's wife within a mile from where my land and living lies, and having flown over many knavish professions, settled only in rogue. Some call him Autolycus.
Out upon him! Prig, for my life, prig. He hunts wakes, fairs, and bear baiting.
Very true, sir. He, that's the rogue that put me into this apparel.
Not a more cowardly rogue in all Bohemia. If you had but looked big and spit at him, he'd have run.
Oh, I must confess to you, I am no fighter, sir. I am false of heart in that way, and that he knew I warrant him.
How do you now?
Sweet sir, much better than I was. I can stand and walk. I will even take my leave of you and pace softly towards my kinsman.
Shall I bring me on the way?
No, good face, sir. No, sweet sir.
Fairly well then. I must go buy spices for our sheep shearing.
Prosper you, sweet sir. Your purse is not hot enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing too. If I make not this cheat, bring out another, and the shears prove sheep. Let me be unrolled, and my name put in the book of virtue. Jog on, fool and pathway, and merrily into the style. Your merry heart goes all the day, sad as in a mile.
'Tis your unusual weeds to each part of you does give a life. No shepherdess but Flora peering in April's front. This your sheep shearing is as a meeting of the petty gods, and you the queen on it.
Sir, my gracious lord, to chat at your extremes and not becomes me. Oh, pardon that I named them. Your high self, the gracious mark of the land. You have obscured with a swain swearing, and me, for a lonely name, most goddess like great dove.
I bless the time when my good falcon made a flight across thy father's ground.
Now you afford your cause. To me the difference forges dread. Your greatness had not been used to fear. Even now I tremble to think your father by some accident should pass this way as you did. Oh, the fates! How would he look? To see his work so noble, vilely boned up? What would he say? Or how should I these, my world floods, behold the sternness of his presence?
Apprehend nothing but jollity. The gods themselves, humbling their deities to love, have taken the shapes of beasts upon them. Jupiter became a bull and bellowed. The green Neptune, a ram and bleated. And the fire-robed god, golden Apollo, a poor humble swain as I seem now. Their transformations were never for a piece of beauty, rarer, nor in a way so chaste, since my desires were not before mine honor, nor my lusts burn hotter than my faith.
Sir, your resolution cannot hold. When 'tis opposed, as it must be, by the power of the king, one of these two must be necessities, which then will speak, that you must change this purpose, or I my life.
Thou dearest Perdita, with these first thoughts I pray thee, darken not the mirth of the feast, or I'll be thine, my fair, or not my father's. For I cannot be mine own, nor anything to any, if I be not thine. To this I am most constant, though destiny say no. Be merry, gentle. Lift up your countenance, as it were the day of the celebration of that nuptial which we two have sworn shall come.
Oh, Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious.
See, your guests approach. Address yourself to entertain them sprightly, and let's be read with mirth.
Aye, daughter, as my old wife lived, upon this day she was both pet and butler, cook, both dame and servant, welcomed all, served all, would sing her song and dance her turn. Now you bring the upper end of the table, now in the middle, on his shoulder and his, her face of fire, that which she took to quench it, she would to each one. You are retired, as though you were a feasted one, and not the hostess of the meeting. Pray bid these unknown guests to us welcome, for it is the way to make us better friends more known. Come, quench your blushes, and present yourself that which you are, mistress of the feast.
Sir, welcome. It is my father's will. I should take on me the hostessship of the day. You're welcome, sir. Give me these flowers. There, Dorcas. Reverend sirs, for you there's rosemary and rue. These keep seeming and savor all the winter long. Grace and remembrance be to you both, and welcome to our cheering.
Shepherdess, a fair one are you, while your feet are naked with flowers of winter.
The year growing age, not yet on summer's death, nor on the birth of turning winter. The fairest flowers of the season are our carnations and street julipers, which some call nature bastards. Of that kind our rustic gardens parent, and I care not to get slips of them.
Wherefore, gentle maiden, do you neglect them?
For I have heard it said, there is not art which in their pious shares with great creation nature.
Say there be. Yet nature is made better by not mean, but nature makes that mean. So over that art would you say adds to nature, is an art that nature makes. You see, sweet maid, we marry a gentler scion to the wildest stock, that may conceive a bark with better kind by but of nobler race. This is an art that does make nature. Change it rather, but the art itself, it's nature.
So it is.
Then make your garden rich in gillivores, and do not call them bastards.
I will not put in the little earth to set one slip of them. No more than were I painted, I would wish these youths should say 'twere well, and only therefore desire to breathe by me. Here's flowers for you. Hot lavender, mint, savory, marjoram, the marigold that goes to bed with sun and when he rises weeping. These are flowers of middle summer, and I think they are given to men of middle age. You're very welcome.
I should leave grazing where I am your flock and only live by gazing.
Alas, you be so lean that last of January would blow you through and through. Now, my fairest friend, I have some flowers of the spring that might become your time of day. And yours, and whereupon your virgin branches yet to your maiden heads growing. Oh, Proserpina, for the flowers now that frighten, thou let's fall from Theseus' wagon. Daffodils that come before the swallow dares and take the wings of March with beauty. Violets, dim, but sweeter than the leads of Juno's eyes or Cytherea's breath. Old oxlips and the crowning period. Lilies of all kinds, fleur-de-lis being one. Oh, it is I like to make you garlands of, and my sweet friend, to strew him o'er and o'er.
What, like a corpse?
No, like a bag for love to lie and wail, not like a corpse for ill, not to be buried but quick, and in my arms. Come, take your flowers. Methinks I play as I have seen them doing with some pastorals. Sure, this robe of mine does change my disposition.
What you do still betters what is done. When you speak sweet, I'd have you do it ever. When you sing, I'd have you buy and sell so. So give alms, pray, and for the ordering your affairs to sing them to. When you do dance, I wish you a wave of the sea that you might ever do nothing but that. Move still so, and own no other function. Each your doing so singular, in each particular, crowns what you are doing, that all your acts are queens.
Doricles, your praises are too large, but that your due and true love which speaks fairly truly, to plainly give you out an unstinted shepherd. With wisdom I might fear my Doricles. You with me the false way.
I think you have as little skill to fear as I have purpose to put you to it. But come, our dance, I pray. Your hand, my bird. So turtles spare that never mean to part.
I swear for him.
This is the prettiest that ever ran to the glacier. Nothing she does or seems but much something greater than herself. Too noble for this place.
He tells her something that makes her blood levant. Good sooth, she's the queen of curds and cream.
Strike up.
Mox must be your mistress, Mary Garland, to mend her kissing ways.
Now in good time.
Not a word. A word we stand upon our manners. Come, strike up.
Striking on favor, striking on favor, striking on favor.
Pray, good shepherd, what persuaded you these dances with your daughter?
They call him Doricles and boasts himself to have a worthy meaning. He says he loves my daughter. I think so too, for he never gazed the moon upon the water as he stand and read as for my mother's eyes. And to be plain, I think there is not half a moon that two tulips are the best.
She does it fitly.
And she does anything. Oh, I report it that should be silent. If young Doricles do light upon her, she shall bring him that which he not dreams of.
Oh, master! If you did but hear the pedlar at the door, you will never dance again after I play my pipe. He sings several tunes, faster than your 10 money. Uttered them as he had eaten ballads.
He shall never come better. He shall come in. I love a ballad even too well. Whether it be doleful matter, readily set down, would be a lively thing indeed.
He has songs for man or woman of all sizes. He has the prettiest love songs for maids, so without bordering, which is strange. Such delicate burdens of jumper and thumper, and some strange tight-mouthed rascal would, as it were, mean mischief, he makes the maid to answer. We're getting a hungry man.
This is a brave fellow.
It has any braided wares.
He has ribbons of all the colors of the rainbow. Points, more than all the lawyers in Bohemia can learnedly handle. Inkers, cadices, cambrics, lords. Why, he sings them other, and they were gods or goddesses.
Prithee, bring him in. Let him proceed.
We're worrying like he used to know his privileges and Florence too.
You have to see fellows who have more than you'd like to think, sister.
I could brother or go about to think.
Lawn as white as driven snow, cypress black as ever was grown, blocks as sweet as damask words, as for faces before noses, you'll go for madness and for a lady's
That would take no money of me. By being proud as I am, it brings such tonnage of such burdens of ribbons and gloves.
I was promised them against the feast, but they come back too late now. He hath promised you more than that, or there be liars. He hath paid you all he promised you. Maybe he has paid you more, which will shame you to give him again.
As though no man is left among maids, you are tittle-tattling among all our guests. 'Tis well they are whispering. Clamor your tongues, not a word more.
I have done. Come, you promised me a tawdry lace and a pair of sweet gloves.
Have I not told thee how his cousin on the way and lost all my money?
And indeed, sir, there are cousiners abroad. Therefore, it behooves men to beware.
Fearest thou not, man. Thou should lose nothing here. What's hast here? Malice?
Oh, pray now buy some. I love a ballad in print. A life, for then we are sure they are true.
Here's one to a very doleful tune. How a usurer's wife was brought to bed of 20 money bags, and how she longed to be at her head, and told
Bless me from marrying a usurer. Is it true, think you?
Why should I carry lies abroad?
Pray now buy it.
We'll first have more ballads. We'll buy the other things anon. Another.
Here's another ballad of a fish that appeared upon the coast, 40,000 fathom above water, and sang this ballad against the hard hearts of maids. It was thought she was a woman, but was turned into a cold fish, for she would not exchange flesh with one that loved her. The ballad was very pitiful, and as true.
Is it true too, think you?
5 justices' hands at it, and witnesses more than my pack will hold.
Lay it by. Another.
This is a merry ballad, but a very pretty one.
Let's have some merry ones.
This is a passing merry one, and goes to the tune of 2 maids wooing a man. There's scarce a maid westward, but she sings it. 'Tis in request, I can tell
We
you.
can both sing it. If thou bear a part, thou shalt hear 'tis in 3 parts. We had the tune on a month ago.
I can bear my part. You must know. It's my occupation. Have at it with you. Get you hence, or I must go, where it fits not you to know.
Whether, if it's thy know full well, thou to me thy secrets tell, and me to let me go thither. If thou goest to grange or mill, if to either thou dost still.
Neither.
What neither?
Neither.
Thou hast vowed my love to be. Thou hast sworn it more to me. Then whither goest thee?
We'll have this out and done by ourselves. My father and gentlemen are sad talk. We will not trouble them. Peddler, follow thy pack after me. Wenches, I will buy for you both. Peddler, let's have the first choice. Follow me, girls.
And you shall pay well for 'em.
Or you buy and pay for a place for your table, my dainty duck, my dear. I'll pretty soon get these grand and these boys for your head of me. By my fair right. Come to the land for a
Is it not to forgive? It is time to pardon. He's simple and tells much. How now, first shepherd? Your heart is full of something that does take your mind from feasting. Sooth, when I was young and handed love as you do, I was wont to load my sheep with nuts. I would have ransacked a peddler's oaken treasury and have poured it to her acceptance. You have let him go and not a matter with him.
Oh, sir, I know she prizes not such trifles as these are. The gifts she looks from me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I have given already, but not delivered. Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, who it should seem hath sometime loved. I take thy hand, this hand, as soft as dove's down and as white as it.
How prettily that young swain seems to watch the hand was fair before. I put you out. For to your protestation, let me hear what you profess.
Do, and be witness to it.
And this, my neighbor too?
And he, and more than he, and men, the earth, the heavens, and all, that were I crowned the most imperial monarch, thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made I swerve, had force and knowledge more than was ever man's, I would not prize them without her love. For her, employ them all, commend them, and condemn them to her service or to their own perdition.
Fairly offered.
This shows a sound affection. But my daughter, say you the like to him.
I cannot speak so well, nothing so well, nor mean better by the pattern of my own thoughts. I cut out the purity of his.
Take hands, a bargain, and friends unknown, you shall bear witness to it. I give my daughter to him, and will make her portion equal his.
Oh, that must mean the virtue of your daughter. One being dead, I shall have more than you can dream of yet. Enough then for your wonder. But come on, contract us for these witnesses.
Come, your hand, and daughter, yours.
So, Suena, who I will beseech you, have you a father?
I have, but what of him?
Knows he of this?
He neither does nor shall.
Methinks a father is the nuptial of his son. I guess the best become the table. Pray you once more. Is not your father grown incapable of reasonable affairs? Is he not stupid with age, altering realms? Can he speak here? No man from man? This beauty son state? Lies he not bedread? And again, does nothing but what he did being childish?
No, good sir. He has his health, an ampler strength indeed than most have of his age.
Oh, my white beard you offer him. If this be so, I wrong something unfilial. Reason my son should choose himself a wife. But as good reason, that father, all whose choice is nothing but fair posterity, should hold some constant such business.
I yield all this, but for some other reasons, my grave sir, which 'tis not fit, you know, I not acquaint my father of this business.
Let him know it.
No, he shall not.
Prithee, let him.
He must not.
Let him, my son. He shall not need to grieve at knowing thy choice.
Come, he must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir, whom son I dare not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged. Thou a scepter's heir that does affect a sheephook. Thou old traitor, I am sorry that by hanging thee again was shorten thy life and weak. And thou fresh piece of excellent witchcraft, whom of force must know thou royal fool thou copes with. I have that beauty scratch with priors made more homely than thy state. For thee, poor boy, if I may ever know that thus but sight, that thou no more shalt never see this night. As never, I mean thou shalt, will bar thee from succession, not hold thee off of blood. Mark thou my word, follows to the court. Thou churro, for this time a fool of all his pleasure, yet we free thee from the dead glories. And you, enchantment, if ever hang for thou these rural lodges, to his entrance open or hoop his body more. For thy embraces I will devise a death, as cruel for thee as thou art tender to it.
Even here, undone, I was not much afeared. For once or twice I was about to speak, and tell him plainly, the self-same sun that shines upon his court hides not his visage from our cottage, but looks unlike. But please to Sir Begone, I told you what would come of this. Beseech you of your own state, take care. This dream of mine being now awake, I'll win it no inch farther, but milk my son to weep.
Why, how now, father? Speak ere thou diest.
I cannot speak, nor think, nor dare to know that which I know. Oh, sir, you have undone a man of 83 that thought to build his grave in quiet, yea, to die upon the bed my father died, to lie close by his honest bones. But now some hangman must put on my shroud and lay me where no priest shovels in dust. Oh, cursed wretch, that knewest this was the prince and wouldst in verity mingle faith with you. Undone, undone! If I might die within this hour, I have lived to die when I desire.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry, not afeard, delayed, but nothing altered.
Gracious, my lord, you know your father's temper. At this time he will allow no speech, which I guess you do not purpose to him, and as hardly yet will he ignore your sight, as yet I fear. Then till the fury of his highness settle, come not before him.
I not propose it. I think Camillo?
Even he, my lord.
How often have I told you to would be thus? How often said my dignity would last till it were known?
It cannot fail but by the violation of my faith. And let nature crush the sides of the earth together and mar the seeds within. Lift up thy looks. For my succession, wipe me, father. I am heir to my affection.
Be advised.
I am, and by my fancy. If my reason will thereto be obedient, I have reason. If not, my sense is better pleased with madness to bid it welcome.
This is desperate, sir.
So call it. But it does fulfill my vow. I needs must think it honesty. Camillo, not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be thereat gleamed, for all the sun sees, or the close earth wombs, or the profound seas hides in unknown fathoms, will I break my oath to this my fair beloved. Therefore I pray you, as you have ever been my father's honored friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I mean not to see him any more, cast your good counsels upon his passion. Let myself and fortune tug for the time to come. This you may know, and so deliver. I am put to sea with her, who here I cannot hold on shore. And most apportioned to her need, I have a vessel rides fast by, but not prepared for this design. What course I mean to hold shall nothing benefit your knowledge, nor concern me the reporting.
My lord, I would your spirit were easier for advice, were stronger for your need.
Hark, Perdita, I'll hear you by and by.
He's irremovable, resolved for flight. Now were I happy of his going, I could frame to serve my turn, save him from danger, do him love and honor, purchase again the sight of dear Cecilia, and that unhappy king, my master, whom I so much thirst to see.
Now, good Camillo, I am so fraught with curious business that I leave out ceremony.
Sir, I think you have heard of my poor services, if the love that I have borne your father.
Very nobly have you deserved. It is my father's music to speak your deeds. Not little of his care to have them recompensed as thought on.
Well, my lord, if you may please to think I love the king, and through him what's nearest him, which is your gracious self, embrace but my direction, if your more ponderous and settled project may suffer alteration. On mine honor, I'll point you to where you shall have such receiving as shall become your highness, that you may enjoy your mistress, from the whom I see there's no disjunction to be made, but by, as heavens forfend, your ruin. Marry her, and with my best endeavors in your absence, your discontenting father, strive to qualify and bring him up to life.
Oh, Camillo, may this almost a miracle be done, that I may call thee something more than man, and after that trust thee.
Have you thought on a place whereto you'll go?
Not any yet. But as the unthought on accident is guilty to what we wildly do, so we profess ourselves to be the slaves of chance, and flies of every wind that blows.
Then list to me. This follows if you will not change your purpose, but undergo this flight.
Make for Sicilia, and there present yourself and your fair princess, for so I see she must be, for Leontes. She shall be habited as it becomes the partner of your bed. Methinks I see Leontes opening his free arms and weeping his welcomes forth.
Worthy Camillo, what color for my visitation shall I hold up before him?
Sent by the king, your father, to greet him and to give him comforts. Sir, the manner of your bearing towards him, with what you, as from your father, shall deliver things known betwixt us three. I'll write you down, the which shall point you forth at every fitting what you must say.
I am bound to you. There is some sap in this.
Of course, more promising than a wild dedication of yourselves to unpathed waters, undreamed shores.
But, O Camillo, preserver of my father, now with me, the medicine of our house, how shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Sicilia.
My lord, fear none of this. I think you know my fortunes do all lie there. It shall so be my care to have you royally appointed, as if the scene you play were mine. For instance, sir, that you may know you shall not want. One word.
What a fool honesty is, and trust his sworn brother, a very simple gentleman. I have sold all my trumpery. Not a counterfeit stone, not a ribbon, glass, pomander, brooch, table book, ballad, knife, glove, tape, shoe tie, horn ring, bracelet, to keep my pack from fasting. They throng who should buy first, as if my trinkets had been hallowed, by which means I saw whose purse was best in picture, and what I saw to my good use I remembered. And had not the old man come in with a whoobub against his daughter and the king's son, and scared my chuffs from the chaff, I had not left a purse alive in the whole army.
Nay, but my letters by this means, being there so soon as you arrive, shall clear that doubt.
And those you'll procure from King Leontes
Shall satisfy your father.
How do you only to speak so fair?
Who have we here? We'll make an instrument of this. Omit nothing may give us aid.
If they have overheard me now, why, hanging!
Why, how now, good fellow? Why shakest thou so? Fear not, man. Here's no harm intended to thee.
I am a poor fellow, sir.
Why be so still? Here nobody will steal that from thee. Yet, for the outside of thy poverty, we must make an exchange. Therefore, discase thee instantly, and change garments with this gentleman. Though the pennyworth on his side be the worst, yet hold thee, there's some boot.
I am a poor fellow, sir. I know ye well enough.
Nay, prithee dispatch, the gentleman is half fled already.
Are you in earnest, sir? I smell the trick on it.
dispatch, I pray thee.
Indeed, I have had earnest, but I cannot in conscience take it.
Unbuckle, unbuckle. Fortunate mistress, you must retire yourself into some cupboard. Take your sweetheart's hat and pluck it o'er your brows. Muffle your face, dismantle you, and, as you can, disliken the truth of your own seeming, that you may, for I do fear eyes over, to shipboard, get undescribed.
I see the place so live that I must bear apart.
No remedy. Have you done there?
Should I now meet my father, he would not call me son.
Nay, you shall have no hat. Well, come, lady, come. Farewell, my friend.
Adieu, sir.
Oh, Perdita, what have we played for God? Pray, a word.
What I do next shall be to tell the king of this escape and whither they are bound, wherein my hope is I shall so prevail to force him after, in whose company I shall review Sicilia, for whose sight I have a woman's longing.
Fortune speed us, thus we set on Camillo to the seaside.
The swifter speed, the better.
I understand the business. I hear it. To have a quick ear, a nimble hand, and a fast eye is necessary for a cutpurse. A good nose is requisite also to smell out work for the other senses. I see this is the time that the unjust man doth thrive. Surely do the gods this year connive at us, and we may do anything extempore. The prince himself is about a piece of iniquity, stealing away from his father with his clog at his heels. If I thought it were a piece of honesty to acquaint the king with all, I would not do it. I hold it the more knavery to conceal it, and therein am I constant to my profession. Aside. Here is more matter for hot brain. Every lane's end, every shop, church, session, hanging yields a careful man work.
See, what a man you are now. There's no other way but to tell the king she's a changeling, none of your flesh and blood.
Nay, but hear me!
Nay, but hear me.
Go to him.
She be none of your flesh and blood. Your flesh and blood has not offended the king, so your flesh and blood shall not be punished by him. Take those things that you have with you, those secret things, and only which she had with her. This being done, let the law whistle. I warrant you.
I will tell the king all. Every word. Yea, and his son's pranks too, for I may say he is no honest man, neither to his father nor to me, to go about to make me the king's brother-in-law. There's that in this farthing will make him scratch his beard.
I know not what impediment this complaint may be to the flight of my master.
Pray thee heartily, be at the palace.
Though I am not naturally honest, I am so sometimes by chance. How now, rustics? Whither are you bound?
To the palace, and it like to worship.
Your affairs there? What? With whom? The condition of that father? The place of your dwelling? Your names? Your ages? What having? Breeding? And anything fitting to be known, discover.
We are but plain fellows, sir.
A lie. You are rough and hairy. Let me have no lie. It becomes known tradesman.
Are you a courtier? And it like you, sir.
Whether it like me or no, I am a courtier. Seest thou not the air of the court in these enfoldings? Hath not my gait in it the measure of the court? Receives not thy nose court odor from me? I am courtier, cap a pay, and one that will either push on or pluck back thy business there. Whereupon I command thee to open thy affair.
My business, sir, is to the king.
What advocate hast thou to him?
I know not, and it like you.
I think it's a court worth of pheasant. Say you have none.
None, sir. I have no pheasant, cock, nor hen.
How blessed are we that are not simple men! Yet nature might have made me as these are. Therefore I will not disdain.
This cannot be but a great courtier.
Father there. What's in the father? What for that box?
Sir, there lie such secrets in this farthing box that none but the king must know, and he shall know within the hour if I may come to the speaker.
Age, thou hast lost thy labor.
Why, sir?
The king is not at the palace. He is gone aboard a new ship, to purge melancholy and air himself. For if thou beest capable of things serious, thou must know the king is full of grief.
So 'tis said, sir, about his son, who should have married a shepherd's daughter.
Oh, if that shepherd be not in handfast, let him fly. The curses he shall have, the tortures he shall feel, will break the back of man, the heart of monster.
Think you so, sir?
Not he alone shall suffer, but those that are germane to him, though removed 50 times, shall all come under the hangman. Which, though it be great pity, yet it is necessary. An old sheep whistling roan, a rare bender, would have his daughter come into grace. Some say he shall be stoned, but that death is too soft for him, say I.
Has the man there a son, sir? Do you hear? And it like you, sir?
He has a son, who shall be flayed alive, then anointed over with honey, set on the head of a wasp nest, then stand till he be 3/4 in a dram dead, then recovered again with aquavitae or some other hot infusion, then raw as he is, and in the hottest day prognostication proclaims, shall he be set against a brick wall, the sun looking with a southward eye upon him, where he is to behold him, with flies blown to death. But what talk we of these traitorly rascals? Tell me, for you seem to be honest, plain men, what you have to the king. Being something gently considered, I'll bring you when he is aboard, tender your persons to his presence, whisper him in your behalfs, and if it be in man, besides the king to effect your suits, here is man shall do it.
He seemed to be a great authority. Close with him, give him gold. Never stoned and flayed alive.
And it please you, sir, to undertake the business for us, Here is that gold I have. I'll make it just much more and leave this young man in pawn till I bring it you.
After I have done what I promised.
Aye, sir.
Well, give me the moiety. Are you a party in this business?
In some sort, sir. Though my case may be a pitiful one, I'd hope not to be flayed out of it.
Oh, that's the case of the shepherd's son. Hanging him. He'll be made an example.
Comfort! Comfort! We must to the king's shore. Strange sights. 'Tis no none of your daughter nor my sister. We are gone else.
Walk before toward the seaside. Go on the right hand. I'll follow you.
We are blessed in this man, as I was saying. Even blessed.
Let's be four after you get some.
If I had a mind to be honest, I see fortune would not suffer me. She drops booties in my mouth. I am courted now with a double occasion. Gold, and it means to do the prince my master good, which, who knows how that will turn back to my advancement?
Sir, you have done enough and have performed the saint-like sorrow. No fault could you make which you have not redeemed. Indeed, pay down more penitence and don't trespass. At the last doom, as the prophets have done, forget your evil. With them, forgive yourself.
Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemishes in them, and so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so much that heirless it has left my kingdom, and destroyed the sweetest companion that e'er man could bred his hope out of. True.
Too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, or from all that are took something good to make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
I think so. Killed? She I killed? I did so, but thou strikes me sorely to say I did. It is bitter upon thy tongue as in my thought. Now, good now, say so, but seldom.
Good lady, you might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time of benefit, and graced your kindness better.
You are one of those that would have him wed again.
If you would not so, you pity not the state, nor the remembrance of his most sovereign name. Consider little what dangers by his highness spell of issue might drop upon his kingdom. What were more holy than to rejoice the former queen as well? What holier than for royalty repair, for present comfort and for future good, than to bless the bed of majesty again with a sweet fellow to it?
There is none that's worthy, respecting her that's gone. Besides, the gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes. For as not the divine Apollo said, is not the tenor of his oracle that King Leonte shall not have an heir till that his lost child be found? Which that it shall is all as monstrous to our human reason as my Antigonus to break his grave and come again to me, who on my life did perish with the infant. It is your counsel, my lord, should to the heavens be contrary, oppose against their wills. Care not for an issue, the crown will find an heir.
My true Paulina, who has the memory of Hermione, I know in honor. Oh, that I was squared into that counsel. Then even thou I might have looked upon my queen's fool eyes, have taken treasure from her lips.
And left them more rich for what they yielded.
Thou speakst truth. No more such wives, therefore no wife. I will have no wife, Paulina.
Will you swear never to marry but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina, so be blessed my spirit.
Then good my lords bear witness to his oath.
You've tempted of a much.
Unless another as like Hermione as is her picture affront his eye.
Good madam, I have done.
Yet if my lord will marry, if you will, sir, no remedy but you will. Give me the office to choose you a queen. She shall not be so young as was your former, but she shall be such as walked your first queen's ghost. It should take joy to see her in your arms.
Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That shall be when your first queen's again in breath. Never till then.
one that gives himself out Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess, she the fairest I have yet beheld, desires access to your high company.
What with him, he comes not like to his father's greatness. What trait?
But few, and those but need.
His princess, say you with him?
Aye, the most peerless piece of earth, I think, that e'er the sun shone bright on.
Oh, Hermione, as ever present time doth boast itself a butter gone, so must thy grave give way to what's seen now. Sir, you yourself have said and writ so, but your writing now is colder than that theme. She had not been or was not to be equal to, thus your verse flowed with her beauty once. 'Tis truly am to say you have seen a better.
Your pardon, madam. The one I have almost forgot. Your pardon. But when she's obtained your eye, she'll obtain your tongue, too.
Bring them to our embrace. Still, 'tis strange he thus should steal upon us.
Had our Prince Jewel of children seen this hour, he had paired well with this lord. There was not full a month between their births.
Now, prithee no more cease. Thou know'st he dies to me again when talked of. Sure, when I shall see this gentleman, thy speeches shall bring me to consider that which may unfurnish me of reason. There come. Your mother was most true to wedlock, Prince, for she did print your royal father off, conceiving you. Most dearly welcome. And this fair princess, goddess, oh, alas, I lost a couple twixt heaven and earth, might thus have stood begetting wonder as you, gracious couple, do. And then I lost all mine own folly, the society and amity too of your brave father, whom though bearing misery, I desire my life once more to look on.
By his command have I here touched Cecilia, and from him give you all greetings that a kinged friend can send his brother, and but infirmity, which waits upon worn times, hath something seized his wished ability. He had himself lands and waters, twixt your throne and his, measured to look upon you, whom he loves, he bade me say so, more than all the scepters, and those that bear them, living.
Oh, my brother, gracious gentlemen, the wrongs I've done thee stir afresh within me. Welcome him, as is a spring unto the earth. And has he too exposed this paragon to the fearful usage, at least ungentle, of the dreadful Neptune, to greet a man not worth her pains, much less the adventure of her person?
Good, my lord, she came from Libya.
Where the warlike Smalus, that noble honored lord, is feared and loved?
Most royal sir, from thence, from him, whose daughter his tears proclaimed his parting with her. Thence, a prosperous south wind friendly we have crossed, to execute the charges my father gave me for visiting your highness. My best train I have from your Sicilian shores dismissed, who for Bohemia bend, to signify not only my success in Libya, sir, but my arrival and my wife's in safety, here where we are.
The blessed gods purge all infection from our air whilst you do climate here. You have a holy father, a gracious gentleman, against whose person, so sacred as it is, I have done sin, for which the heavens, taking angry note, have left me issueless, and your father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it, with you worthy his goodness. What might I have been? Might I, a son and daughter, now have looked on such goodly things as you?
Most noble sir, Bohemia greets you from himself by me, desires you to attach his son, who has his dignity and duty both cast off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where is Bohemia? Speak!
Here in your city, I now came from him. I speak amazingly, and it becomes my marvel and my message. To your court, whilst he was hasting in the chasing scene to this fair couple, meets he on the way the father of the seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Camillo has betrayed me, whose honor and whose honesty till now endured all weathers.
Lay it so to his charge. He's with the king, your father.
Who, Camillo?
Camillo, sir. I spake with him, who now has these poor men in question. Never saw I wretches so quake. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens him with diverse deaths and death.
Oh, my poor father, the heaven sends his pies upon us. We'll not have our contract celebrated.
You are married!
We are not, sir, nor are we like to be. The stars I see will kiss the valleys first, the odds for high and lows alike.
My lord, is this the daughter of a king?
She is. When once she is my wife.
That once I see by your good father's speed will come on very slowly. I am sorry that you have broken from his liking where you were tied in duty, and as sorry that your choice was not as rich in worth as beauty, that you may well enjoy her.
Dear, look up. Though fortune, visible and enemy should chase us, power no jot hath she to change our loves. Beseech you, sir, remember, since you owe no more to time than I do now, with thought of such affection, step forth mine advocate. At your request, my father will grant precious things as trifles.
Would he do so, I'd beg your precious mistress, which he counts but a trifle.
Sir, my liege, your eye hath too much youth in it. Not a month before your queen died, she was more what such gaze than what you look on now.
I thought of her even in these looks I made. But yet your petition is yet unanswered. I will to your father, your honor not o'erthrown by your desires. I am friendly, and you. Come, good my lord.
Beseech you, sir. Were you present at this relation?
I was present at the opening of the farm. I heard the old shepherd deliver the manner how he found it. Whereupon, after a little amazingness, we were all commanded out of the chamber. Only this, methought I heard the shepherd say, he found the child.
I would most gladly know the issue of it.
I make a broken delivery of the business. But the changes I saw in the king and Camilla were very notes of admiration. They seemed almost, with staring on one another, to tear the cases of their eyes. There was speech in their dumbness and language in their very gesture. They looked as though they'd heard of a world ransomed or one destroyed. Here comes a lady that happily knows more. The news, Amelia.
The oracles of Troll. The king is found, his lost daughter. Such a deal of wonders spoken out within this hour. The ballad makers cannot be able to express it. Here comes Dion. He can tell you more. How goes it now, sir? The news, which is called to be true, is so like an old tale. The verity of it is in strong suspicion. Has the king found his heir?
Most true. That what you hear, you'll swear you see there is such unity in the proofs. The mantle of Queen Hermione, the jewel about the neck of it, the letters of Antigonus found with it, the majesty of resemblance of the creature to the mother, and many other evidences proclaim her with all certainty to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings?
No.
Oh. Then have you lost a sight which was to be seen, cannot be spoken of. There might you have beheld one joy crown another, our king being ready to leap out of himself for joy of his found daughter. And then as if that joy were become a loss, cried, "Oh, thy mother, thy mother," and asks Bohemia forgiveness, and embraces his son-in-law, and then again worries he his daughter with clipping her. Now he thanks the old shepherd who stand by like a weather-bitten conduit of many kings' reigns.
What pray you became of Antigonus that he carried hence the child?
Like an old tale still, which will have some matter to rehearse, he was torn to pieces by a bear. Such about is the shepherd's son, who has not only his innocence, which seems much to justify him, but a handkerchief and rings of his which belie him.
What became of his bark and his followers?
Racked the same instant of their master's death, and in the eyes of the shepherd, so that all the instruments which aided to expose the child were even lost when it were found. But oh, that noble combat, that twixt joy and sorrow that was fought with Paulina, she at one eye declined for the loss of her husband, the other elevated that the oracle was fulfilled. She lifted the princess from the earth, and so locks her in embracing, as if she would pin her to her heart, that she might no longer be in danger of losing.
The dignity of this act was worth the audience of kings and princes, for by such was it acted.
One of the prettiest touches of all, and that which angled for mine eyes, was when at the relation of the queen's death and the manner of how she came to it bravely confessed and lamented by the king, how attentiveness wounded his daughter, till she did, with an alas, I would fain say, bleed tears, for I am sure my heart wept blood.
Are they returned to court?
No. The princess, hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, the piece many years in doing and now newly performed by that rare Italian master Giulio Romano. Yet so near to Hermione, half done Hermione, that they say one would speak to her and stand in hope of answer. Thither are they gone.
I thought she had some greater matter there in hand, for she has practically twice or thrice a day since the death of Hermione visited that removed house. Shall we thither, and with our company peace to rejoicing?
Who would be thence that has benefited access? Every wink of an eye, some new grace will be born. Let's along.
Now, had I not the dash of my former life in me, would preferment drop on my head. I brought the old man and his son aboard the Prince, told him I heard them talk of a father and I know not what. But he at the time, over fond of the shepherd's daughter, so he then took her to be, who began to become much seasick, and himself little better. Extremity of weather continuing, this mystery remained undiscovered. But 'tis all one to me, for had I been the finder out of this secret, it would not have relished among my other discredits. Here come those I have done good to against my will, and already appearing in the blossoms of their fortune.
Come, boy, I am past more children, but thy sons and daughters shall be all gentlemen born.
You are well met, sir. You didn't have to fight me this other day, for I was no gentleman born. See you these clothes. Give me the lie, do, and see whether I'm not now a gentleman born.
I know you are now, sir, a gentleman born.
Aye, and so have been these many 4 hours.
And so have I, boy.
So you have, but I was a gentleman born before my father. For the king's son took me by the hand and called me brother. And the 2 kings called my father brother. And the prince, my brother. And the princess, my sister, called my father father. And so we wept. Those are the first gentleman-like tears ever we shed.
We may live, son, to shed many more.
Aye, just for hard luck, being in such preposterous a state as we are.
I beseech you, sir, to pardon any faults I have committed to your worship, and to give me your good report to the prince, my master.
Prithee, son, do, for we must be gentle. Now we are gentlemen.
That will amend thy life.
Aye, and it like your good worship.
Lend me thy hand. Swear to the prince of all Bohemia, not a true fellow.
Hark! The kings and the princes, our kindred, are going to see the queen's picture.
Come, follow us. We'll be thy good masters.
The great comfort that I have had of thee.
What, sovereign sir, I did not well, I meant well. All my services you had paid home, but that you have vouchsafed with your crowned brother, and these, your contracted heirs to your kingdoms, my poor house to visit. It is a surplus of your grace which never my life may last to answer.
Paulina, we honor you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen. Your gallery have we passed through, but we saw not that which my daughter came to look upon, the statue of her mother.
As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness I do well believe excels whatever yet you looked on, or hand of man hath done. Therefore I keep it lovely apart. Behold, and say 'tis well. I like your silence, it the more shows off your wonder. But speak you first, my liege, comes it not something near?
Her natural posture. Chide me, dear stone, that I may say indeed thou art her mine. Yet Paulina, Hermione was not so aged as a siege.
So much more our Carter's excellence that let's go by some 16 years and makes her as she lived now.
Thus she stood with such life of majesty. Warm life as now it coldly stands when I first wooed her. I am ashamed. Does not the stone rebuke me for being more stone than it? O royal peace, there's magic in thy majesty, which has my evils conjured to remembrance, and from thy daughter took the spirit standing like stone to thee.
And give me leave, and not to say to superstition that I knew, and then implore her blessing. Lady, dear queen, that ended when I but begun. Give me that hand of yours to kiss. Oh, patience! The statue is but newly fixed, the color's not dry.
My lord, your sorrow is too sore laid on, which 16 winters cannot blow away, so many summers dry. Scarce any joy did ever so long live. No sorrow but killed itself much sooner.
You, my brother, let him. That was the cause of this. Have power to take off so much grief from you as he will piece up himself.
Indeed, my lord, if I had thought the sight of my poor image would thus have wrought you, I do not have showed it. No longer shall you gaze on it, lest your fancy may think anon its mood.
Let be, let be. Would you not deem it grief, and that those veins did verily bear blood?
Masterly done. The very life seems warm upon her lips.
The fixture of her eye has motion.
My lord's almost so far transported he'll think anon it lives.
Oh, Paulina, make me to think so 20 years together. No settled senses of the world can match the pleasure of that madness.
I'm sorry I have thus far stirred you, but I could afflict you farther.
Do, for this affliction has the taste as sweet as any cordial comfort. Still, methinks an air comes from her. What fine chisel could ever yet cut breath? Let no man mock me, for I will kiss her.
Good, my lord, forbear. The redness on her lip is wet. You'll mar it if you kiss it. Stain your own with oil painting. Shall we not withdraw?
No, not these 20 years.
So long could I stand by a looker on. Either forbear. Quit presently the chapel. Or resolve you for more amazements. If you can behold it, I'll make the statue move indeed. Descend and take you by the hand.
What you can make her do, I am content to look on. What to speak, I am content to hear. For 'tis as easy to make her speak as move.
It is required you do await your fate. Then all stand still. 'Tis time. Descend. Be stone no more. Approach. Strike all that look upon with marvel. Come. I'll fill your grave up. Stir, nay, come away. Bequeath to death your numbness, for from him dear life redeems you. You perceive, she stirs. Start not, her actions shall be holy as you hear my spell is lawful. Do not shun her until you see her die again, for then you kill her double. Nay, present your hand. When she was young, you wooed her. Now in age has she become the suitor?
Oh, she's warm! If this be magic, let it be in all lawfulness eating.
She embraces him. She hangs about his neck. If she pertain to life, let her speak too.
I am making manifest where she hath fled, or how stolen from the dead.
That she is living, were it but told you, should be hooted as like an old tale. But it appears she lives, though yet she speak not. Mark a little while. Please you to interpose, fair madam. Kneel and pray your mother's blessing. Turn, good lady, our Partica is found.
You gods look down, and from your sacred vials pour your graces upon my daughter's head. Tell me, mine own, where hast thou been preserved, where lived, how found thy father's court. For thou shalt hear that I, knowing by Paulina that the oracle gave hope thou wast in me, have preserved myself to see the issue.
There is time enough for that, lest they desire upon this bush to trouble your joys with liculation. Go together, you precious winners all. Your exaltation partake to everyone. And I, an old turtle, will wing me to some withered bough, and there my mate that's never to be found again. Lament till I am lost.
Peace, Paulina. Thou shouldst take a husband by my consent, as I by thine a wife. I'll seek not far for him. I partly know his mind to find thee an honorable husband. Come, Camillo, and take her by the hand, whose worth and honesty is richly noted, and here justified by us, Arab kings. This, your son-in-law, and son unto a king, whom heaven's directing, is troth-like to your daughter. Now look on my brother. Both your pardons that ever I put between your holy hooks my ill suspicion.